Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Aiman bin Jack Sabawi. My trade number is B11231052. So, we will present about Lab 4, which is linear conduction. We're from BELK section 1/1. So, this is our group member. We have Muhammad Daniel Muklis, Muhammad Amar, Daniel Fitri, Amir bin Azman, and lastly we have Muhammad Aiman bin Jack Sabawi. So, for introduction, this laboratory experiment focuses on linear conduction where heat flows in a straight line to a solid medium. The primary aim is to investigate how different material and dimension influence the rate of heat transfer and to determine the thermal conductivity of various solid bars, and this under controlled conditions. The experiment also demonstrates the importance of using thermal paste to ensure efficient thermal connection, minimizing contact resistance between surfaces. By applying the principles of one-dimensional steady-state heat conduction, students will measure temperature gradients and no dimension to calculate the thermal conductivity and assess the thermal performance of different materials. These concepts are vital in real-world applications such as thermal insulation, heat exchanger, and electronic component cooling. So, we go to the safety precaution. First of all, we have to wear appropriate personal protective equipment (PPE) such as lab coat and lab shoes. Follow all the procedures as required in the lab sheet. The heater and metal bar can become extremely hot during the experiment. Do not touch the heater component directly with bare hands. Confirm all the water hose connections are secure before turning on the water supply to avoid leaks and potential water damage to the electrical component. Ensure the experiment is conducted under the supervision of a lab instructor.
So I am Amar and my turn is to explain for procedure lab 4. So now let's go to perform this lab. Let's go. So step 1 is switch on the supply and the heater switch. Second step is make sure the water valve and the inlet outlet is open. So next, for the step 3, put the linear heat conduction experiment with the brass middle section into the front of the base unit. Don't forget to use the thumb screw to hold in the position. For the step 4 is connect the thermocouples for the experiment to the socket on the base unit. So for the connection, we can use this schematic diagram to perform this lab. Now for the step 5 is turn the heater control to minimum and switch on the heater. Set the heater to 10 watt. Wait for 3 minutes and record the temperature T1 to T7. For step 8, repeat the test with 20 watt and 30 watt. Last but not least, repeat the procedure 1 to 8 with stainless steel middle section and radial heat conduction experiment.
Okay, for the next part, we go for the result part, which is my part. So from the previous part, which is procedure, we can see actually we do for the 3 different material, which is we have brass, stainless steel, and copper. So actually the main objective of this lecture actually is to know, is it the metal material will affect the temperature if we gave a different power supply. So from here, we do the first one is a brass material, which is we can see we have 8 column, which is we have a power, we have T1, T2, T3, T4, T5, T6, and T7. So for the power, we give 3 different power, which is 10 watt, 20 watt, and 30 watt. So from here we can see for the 10 watt, the range between between T1 to T7 is actually 31 to 45, while for 21 is 31 to 48, and the last one, 31, is between 33 to 55. I'm so sorry for the T4. Actually is T5 for the 30 watt actually is 33.93, is not 339. I'm so sorry. So, and we use for the different at the different distance, which is we have 0 until 0.06. So from here we make a graph for a brass, and then we can see they have three different line graph, which is we have a pink one for the 30 watt, the mint green one is for the 20 watt, and the last one is for the 10 watt. So actually this graph is between temperature versus the distance. So we can see both of three graph is decreasing gradually. So the graph is decreasing until the last distance, which is 0.06. So next we go for the second material, which is the Cooper material. So for the Cooper material is the same power that we give, but the result is different because it is different materials, right? So from T1 to T7 for the 10 watt, I can see that the range is between 29 to 39. But for 20 watt, I can say is between 30 to 45, and then for the 30 watt is between 31 to 52. So from here, we also make a graph for the Cooper, and then we got the graph almost same as a brass graph, which is we have a peach color for the 30 watt, green color for the 20 watt, and the blue color for the 10 watt. So from here we can see from the starting zero distance to 0.06 meter, we can see that the graph is pointing to one constant temperature. From here, which is around 30 degrees Celsius. So this is the graph for the Cooper. And next we go for the last material, which is the stainless steel. So the stainless steel for the 10 watt, I can say that the T to T7, the range is between 30 to 41. For the 20 watt is 30 to 55. And for the last watt, which is 30 watt, we have the range is between 30 to 64. I think it's quite large, the range. So, and then we make a graph for the stainless steel. So if we can see, the graph for the stainless steel is slightly different from the previous, which is from the Cooper and the brass material. So from here I can see that this graph also decreasing, but from the zero distance to 0.02, I will say the decreasing is slightly slow, but when starting to 0.02 until 0.04, the decreasing is quite extreme rather than 0 to 0.02 meter. So when starting to 0.04 meter to 0.06 meter, I will say the temperature start constant. And here I can see that actually the stainless steel, when it reach the limit distance, the temperature will decrease extremely at a certain point. So from these three different material, I would say actually the best material is between brass and Cooper, which is the decreasing temperature is slightly beautiful because it's gradually beautiful graph, rather than for the stainless steel is also decreasing, is also faster, but the temperature drop is quite drastic rather than brass and a Cooper material. So I think that's all for my part. We go for the next part, which is discussion.
Assalamualaikum and good morning. I will now present the discussion for Lab 4, which focus on linear heat conduction. In this experiment, we investigated how heat transfer through a solid bar and calculated the thermal conductivity of different materials including copper, brass and stainless steel. First, we calculated the temperature gradient by subtracting T7 from T1 and dividing by the distance between them. This gradient represents the rate of temperature change per meter along the bar, which appear as dt per dx in Fourier's law of conduction. It shows the driving force that causes heat to flow from the hot end to the cool end. Second, we use the gradient and known value for heat input, cross-sectional area and bar length to calculate the experimental thermal conductivity for each material using equation 5. We then compared those results with theoretical value from reference table. For example, the theoretical conductivity of copper is 385 W per mK, but our experimental value was lower. The difference is due to several sources of error, such as heat loss to surroundings, imperfect contact between bar section, and measurement inaccuracy. Brass has a moderate error, while stainless steel showed at lowest error due to its larger temperature gradient. Third, we observe that increasing power input from 10 watt to 30 watt resulted in a steeper temperature gradient. This confirms that a higher heat input increase the temperature difference and drive more heat through the bar, which agrees with the theory of one-dimensional conduction. Lastly, we drew a best fit line through the temperature reading to find the overall thermal gradient, and from this we calculated the total thermal resistance of the bar using R equal to T1 minus T7 per Q. We found the total resistance to be approximately 0.1867 K per W. We then calculated the resistance of brass using R equal to L per Ka and subtracted it from the total to find the thermal resistance of middle section, which was approximately 0.36 K per W. This allowed us to isolate the thermal behavior of the middle material. In conclusion, our experiment successfully demonstrates how material type and power input affect heat conduction. We are able to calculate and compare thermal conductivity values and analyze sources of error. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Ahmad Azman. But in conclusion, the gradient in the conduction equation represents the rate of change of temperature with respect to distance along the metal bar. It indicates how quickly the temperature decrease or increase per unit length, which is essential for calculating the heat transfer rate according to Fourier's law. A steeper gradient means a large temperature difference over a shorter distance, reflecting higher heat conduction through the material. Okay, next, the discrepancies between theoretical and experimental thermoconductivity value are mainly due to heat losses. Measurement inaccuracies and imperfect thermal contact during the experiment. Materials with high conductivity like copper show greater sensitivity to small error because of minimal temperature difference, while a material with low conductivity like stainless steel exhibit large temperature gradients but are more affected by environment heat loss. These factors combined result in experimental values that are generally lower than theoretical radiation. Okay, lastly, the laboratory experiment successfully demonstrated the principle of one-dimensional steady-state heat conduction through different solid materials. By measuring temperature gradients and using known dimensions, the thermoconductivity of various materials was determined. The experiment highlighted how material properties and dimensions affect heat transfer rate and it highlighted the importance of using thermal paste to reduce contact resistance for accurate results. Understanding this concept is crucial for practical application like thermal isolation, heat charger, and cooling of electronic components. Okay, thank you.